explanation.
Once upon a time, a group of Aboriginal tribes called the South lived inside the mountains by the Sun Moon Lake in the center of Taiwan. A story lived inside the blood and veins of the Aboriginals, a legend that told the children of South to live in harmony with the nature. As the story goes, there was once a group of long-haired spirits. These spirits lived inside the bottom of the lake with mermaid-like appearance. Mermaid-like appearance. They share food with the Aboriginals for a very long time.
One day, shaking their fishing nets, South fishermen found that their nets was destroyed, and they included this was the reason of their decreasing of the number of fish. To be worsened, they started to worry about their future. Numa, a brave and strong Dao, he volunteered to step into the unknown and tell his friends answer, and he jumped into the lake. Upon his arrival, he found long-haired spirits was breaking their fishing nets, and he swam forward and stopped its destruction before the spirit said anything.
Numa and the spirits fight underwater, and the fight was so fierce that the great waves rose on the lake. After 3 days and 3 nights of fighting, the spirit told the man that he would rather die than that people keep destroying the environment of the lake. There used to be a lot of fish in the lake. Due to humans' greed, they have been using a lot of nets to catch the fish, and they are emptying the lake of its fish. If the fish is gone someday, they would have died.
During the spirit's warning, Numa bent down his head and didn't reply. He felt embarrassed by what the dog had been doing to the lake. Realizing they should protect the lake from destruction. Therefore, he made peace with all of long-haired spirits. After returning to his tribe, he told the tribe elders what had happened in the lake. They were shocked and made a solution of great wisdom. They will just catch enough fish to eat.
From then on, the South no longer use small mesh net for fish, so the baby fish could get away, and the fish in the lake will not be extinct. As the South chose to listen to the spirit's voice, they realized they should live harmony with everything that they were blessed with.
Harmony with nature, in the form of a human with the tail of a fish, long-haired spirits dwelled in the deepest part of Sun Moon Lake. A legend was passed from generation to generation in Shao, a tribe neighboring Sun Moon Lake. a place where adventures begin. The Shao and the spirits had shared the fish in the lake for a long time. And now let's continue the story.
One day, finding his fishing pole, a fisherman shouted in anger, catching everyone's attention. Is that why there haven't been many fish in our nest lately? Complained another as everyone murmured in agreement, not knowing who had torn their fish nest. Oh, the tribe started to worry about their blurred future. Yeah, that's it.
A strong star hero couldn't tolerate this humiliation anymore. Luma stood out and volunteered to help her dig his part of the lake. Upon his arrival, he saw the long-haired spirit destroying their nest. Without hesitation, Luma reached out and attempted to stop the destruction as the two struggled underwater. The battle was so fierce that giant waves as tall as mountains rose on the lake.
Listen to me, you foolish fisherman. The spirit finally gave up the fighting after 18 days and 18 nights, as he spoke for itself. Once there was plenty of fish in the lake. Once there were plenty of fish in the lake, which provide us a large surplus of food. But with humans growing of greed, the size of your fishing nets grew as the number of fish rapidly decreased. Have you no idea that once all the fish in the lake are gone, we will die of hunger?
Shock and ignorance as so ignorance is struck Numa led what support for generation was the lake itself. After making peace with the long-haired spirits, Numa returned and informed the elders of the matter. The tribe decided that through conversation of their environment was the best solution. Catching just enough fish is the way lead to tribe out of tribal extinction.
Henceforth, small mesh nets were banished out of Shao's daily life, as baby fish get away easily, continuing the life cycle. As they lived on, they were happy that they listened to the spirit's voices, as they realized that living in harmony with nature is indeed the correct choice.
Salmon Lake in Nantou County has long been known for its natural beauty. The area nearby is the home of the Shao, one of Taiwan's aboriginal tribes. From generation to generation, the religion has been passed on to the Shao children, who are taught to live in harmony with nature. There were once long-haired spirits living at the bottom of the Salmon Lake. The upper part of their body was just like a human, but the lower part was like a fish. They had colorful tails. Their long, thick black hair hung over their faces, going down to their chests and backs. They spent all day swimming and enjoying the water at the Salmon Lake. the shark called the long-haired spirits, the tapirhas. Ever since the shark settled at the summer lake, they got along very well with the tapirhas. The tapirhas depended on the fish, shrimp, and mollusks of the lake of their livelihood. For tens of thousands of years, the flora and fauna around in and on the lake sustained the shark and the tapirhas. All their gathering and fishing didn't lessen the abundance of life in the lake, and the shark and the tapirhas had shared the aquatic animals in the lake for a long time.
One day, when a group of shellfish men One day, a group of shellfish men entered the forest. Their fish net had been torn when they checked their nets. The situation was planned for the decreasing of the number of fish by shellfish. But no one knew what had really happened. As the situation became worse and worse, the whole tribe began to be anxious for their future. Fortunately, Numa, a brave shellfish man, went into the lake to find the fight without hesitation. After he jumped into the lake, he quickly left for the deepest part of it. Finally, he came upon the unbelievable answer. There was a long-haired spirit destroying their fish nets.
I never heard you. Why are you doing this to us? Asked Numa angrily. Before the spirit replied, you must swim quickly toward it and start it from tearing more net. The two struggled underwater, and the battle was so furious that the wind blew quickly and the wet rose in the lake and reached the top of the mountain. Numa has such a strong leg that he can dive into water 3 days or 3 nights. So, after 3 days or 3 nights fighting, the spirit finally spoke. Listen to me. You are fortune fishermen. I would rather die in your hand than that your people bring destruction unto all of us. There used to be plenty of fish in the lake, and they were enough for both of us.
The spirit said, however, you humans are greedy for more and more. Most of the fish in the lake are caught because of you. Don't you know that once the fish in the lake are caught, all of us will starve to death? The spirit angrily said. Numa was shocked and very embarrassed at what the thought had been doing to the lake. When hearing the spirit's warning, he finally realized that the lake had supported them for generations. Then he made peace with the long-haired spirits, and returned to the tribe.
Being told what had happened in the lake, the elders in the tribe were embarrassed as well. Therefore, the South changed to use the big net instead of the small one, so that the baby fish could survive. Otherwise, the next generation would be lack of food eventually. To their surprise, after listening to the spirit's voice, that called for harmony with nature, the South net had never been poured again. In addition, they also realized the importance of preserving the natural resources. Yeah, what a great ending, isn't it? By the way, undoubtedly, this is the origin of a famous international brand, Puma. Yeah.
Hello, have you ever seen sci-fi movies just like
Hello Man, the Terminator, or this one. All the five movies idea just come from the Mary Shelley's novel, the 是什么名
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. If Mary Shelley hasn't written the novel, the movies wouldn't appear on the paper.
Victor Frankenstein, the main character of the book Frankenstein， 然后想想看，好难找，忘记了。Oh, had an enthusiastic cause himself. Oh, one day he discovered the secret of how to copy a creature, of course, including humans. Every night he stole dead bodies from grave and experiment them. And then in the third night, the God come and say him, you can call the dead back from the heaven, or you will be regret. But however, Frankenstein is a scientist, not faith in God. So he didn't care about it. He even thought it was just a dream. One day, his creature eventually came to life. He gave it a lot of things that makes it grow faster. And it grew faster. 好像差不多结束了。
Frankenstein has done the creator, but its ugly with its Frankenstein has better or worse has done the creator, but it's ugly. How ugly it is, with its watery eyes, red limbs, and red eyes. Frankenstein become frightened. The monster goes to his bed, smiling at him, but then Frankenstein runs in terror, leaving the monster behind. The monster is confused and decides to wander out of the apartment. The monster tries to make friends with other people, but but its ugliness makes them attack him and he runs away. Hatred gradually grows in the monster's mind. The creature that now better decide to take revenge and head for creator's hometown. At last, the monster accidentally runs into Frankenstein's younger brother, Williams, and kills him.
When he meets the Frankenstein again, the monster admits to the murder of Williams but basketball understanding, lonely, shunned, and forlorn. He says that he struck out at William at a desperate attempt to injure his creator. And the monster begs Frankenstein for a mask for him. The monster equally progressed to serve as his sole companion. And Frankenstein refused at first, but after the monsters persuade, he accept and go somewhere to find the information to create a female monster. One night struck by thought. He glanced out the window to see a monster glaring in with a frightened smile. Thought he afraid to create a second monster. So he destroyed his new creation. And the monster killed his wife and his best friend in revenge. And Frankenstein tracks the monster to the north and he almost catches up with the monster. But the sea beneath dense waves and the iceberg, leaving an unbridgeable gap between them. He became worsened and died shortly thereafter. When the monster sees his body lying, he weeps over him and sort of his solitude and hatred, and he goes to northernmost with regret.
Frankenstein had never considered that he had to be responsible for his creations. Many challenges among himself happened because of his inventions. It had never struck him that his enthusiasm for science would lead to so many problems. Interestingly, some people mistaken the creature's name for Frankenstein. If the scientists produced more monsters, the monsters would have led to more problems. So there's a conclusion. Was Frankenstein a real monster?
Action. Rain pours down over the fields and hills surrounding Victor Frankenstein's apartment in Germany. The scientist who is studying chemistry has discovered a way to bring dead flesh back to life. To create a person, he has stolen human body parts and some animal parts. One night, he finally pieces the creature and gives it the spark of life. The creature begins to open his eyes. He lets out the ground and his arms and legs begin to move.
Frankenstein, for better or worse, astounded. But upon seeing how ugly his creation is, with its transparent skin, watery eyes, black lips, and great height, Frankenstein is frightened. He skedaddled to his room, but soon after sees the monster standing at the foot of his bed, smiling at him. As opposed to greeting his creation, Frankenstein runs away in terror, leaving the monster behind. The monster is confused and decides to wander out of the apartment and into the nearby woods. In the woods, he feels lonely, so he tries to make friends with the family. Needless to say, his ugliness makes them attack him and expel him away. While wandering in the woods, he saves a girl from drowning. However, the girl's father shoots him under misconception. Frustrated, he decides to take revenge and heads for his creator's hometown. Accidentally, he meets Frankenstein's brother on the way and kills him.
In a little while, Frankenstein received a letter about the murder and went home. When he arrived home, he notices that the monster is in front of him. Although he is somewhat angry, he also feels guilty. Frankenstein faces the monster. Instead of battle, he lets the monster tell the story of his life. After he tells the tales, he orders that Frankenstein create a female companion. So he wouldn't be alone. Frankenstein, realizing how hopeless his creation is, approves to do it.
Yes, you can start.
While making a female creature, Frankenstein begins to think he's making a mistake. He feels he can't control a monster. So he takes out 9 knives and destroys the monster and said, "I'm the 9 knives." And that's why we call 9把刀 now. And the monster saw all the things out of the window. He's very angry. So he take out a gun, shoot it, and kill Frankenstein's wife. And that's all.
快了吧？快哦！
Frankenstein doesn't feel sorry for the monster anymore and runs after him through the snows of Siberia. The monster wanders in the icebergs of the Arctic Circle, and the scientists get stuck to the large and floating ice. Soon after, the scientist dies of exhaustion and is picked up by a passing ship. Late night, the monster finds Frankenstein dead and cries because what he has done killed the only person in the world that understands him. Now he is alone undoubtedly. Later, the monster decides to burn himself to death in the end, so no one will see him again.
The title of this novel comes from its hero, Victor Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein is an enthusiastic scientist. He discovered the secret about the creation of life. Excited by this discovery, he kept exploring the secret to create a creation. Usually, he was a chemistry student at university. Usually, collect and store dead body in the grave. And finally, his creature come to life, and the creature is giant and horribly monster, and he flees from his slave and
As you can see, that's the first contact with Victor Frankenstein was as you can see, that's the first contact with Victor Frankenstein has no influence to the creature because the first memory of the creature are of himself in the woods. Alternatively, one can look at this event as a repressed memory. Being rejected in the first moment of life, being rejected in the first instant of contact and in the first moment of life was too much for the mind to acknowledge. Guys, don't laugh. The creature finds brief comfort by hiding out in a woodshed of a remote cottage inhabited by a family of peasants. Of a peasant. While they have no idea the existence of the creature, he learns every part of their lives by eavesdropping their conversations. He developed the power of speech by listening their teach of their language to the Arabian daughter-in-law. One day, the creature wants to let his existence known. So he introduced himself to the blind father without seeing his horrible, terrible, and barbaric experience.
the father accepted him and treated him kindness. But when the family returns, they are frightened with the terrible appearance of the creature. They drive him away. Bewildered, but with a little hope, he rescued a little girl drowned in a river, but then shot it in his shoulder, because the girl's father was too frightened his appearance. Now he is very heartbreaking and enraged. He swore his revenge to his creator, Frankenstein, and wanted let it comes into his life.
Amongst searches for Frankenstein's release, guided by some papers which were in a packet of clothing, he took from Frankenstein's room. From this, he discovers the Frankenstein's whereabouts, but also discovers the horrific details of his own birth. Upon arriving near Frankenstein's village, he meets and tries to defend a little boy, hoping the innocent youngs will not be prejudiced. The boy is instantly frightened, however, and threatened to call for his father, Mr. Frankenstein. Revealing to the creature that the boy is related to his hated creator. The creature kills him, and in a further gesture of hatred against humanity, French from murder a girl. The Frankenstein's maid servant. She is sent to the gallows because Frankenstein's disease is wrongly futile to confess in experiments. As no one will believe him.
Full of grief and despair, Frankenstein retreats to the mountain to find peace. The monster finds Frankenstein on top of the mountain and insists that Frankenstein listens to his difficulties and situations. Frankenstein confronts the monster. The monster then tells his stories and demands that Frankenstein make a female equivalent for him so that he can hide himself from humanity with one of his own kind. Frankenstein, knowing how hopeless his creation is, agrees to do it. While making the creation, Frankenstein begins to think that he's making a mistake. He thinks that he can't control the monsters, so he destroys it just before finishing it. When the monster sees that Frankenstein destroyed the female creation, he becomes furious and makes his threat by killing many people around Frankenstein and flees to Russia. When Frankenstein discovers this, he no longer feels sorry for the monster and chases the monster through the snows of Siberia. Well, during the process of taking revenge on the monster, Frankenstein faces many problems, including falling into the ice-cold water and contract severe disease. When he almost dies because of exhaustion, he is found and is rescued by a ship exploring the Arctic Circle. And after he meets the captain of the ship, he tells the whole story of his life. And soon after, he dies because of the disease.
The monster aboard the boat. The monster aboard the boat, and he wanted to take his final revenge. When he saw the Frankenstein had been dead, of course. At that time, suddenly, he had the humanity. The tear fell down from his eyes. He hates Frankenstein, but Frankenstein is his only family, and Frankenstein is the man who created him. At that time, he was actually sorrowful, and the people on the board was so scared, but he didn't attack the people, and he burned himself to the ashes, and he is died, and no one see him again. And there is two saying: is he didn't burn him to the ashes. He is jumped into the sea, and he is disappear again. Is disappear too. There is a tragedy, the Frankenstein story. That's all.